This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believed. Salaki. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 2. And the Lord Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for a appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Kohal Loyim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahushai, Ba Hashem, Rachak, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and sincerity and risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwap and the Akim out there listening and learning, Lord willingly. This is an edifying lesson. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. Salakia. Just getting some libation. But anyhow, this is the brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And this is an article I've been came across. I was gonna do one this morning and it didn't go the way. I didn't really completely fully read the article, so I scrapped that one. But anyhow, I have been wanting to do a video on this because that's why we came out with those scriptures in Romans and Habakkuk, because at the end of the day, we're at, the scriptures is written written for our learning, written before time for our learning for these times, because, it's a living book, because, the prophecies that's written in it have come to pass and are going to come to pass. And there's only a few major prophecies left. And, this article caught my attention because, it was just in the news recently about Elon Musk's Tesla had bought like $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. And now you got this Chinese app company, I might butcher this, Meitu, buys 40 million worth of Bitcoin and ethereum. So the thing is this, it's beyond a conspiracy anymore, because the conspiracy can't be proven. Now, brothers that was, in the know, that's actually being diligent and, being circumspect, they've been following the news, following the signs, following different things. Me and one of the brothers, been doing MOB, the term that the brother so eloquently deemed it, labeled it, from the brother from Men of Valor. Basically, if you were in the know, if you in the truth, you should know what that MOB is. But basically, he was saying how we was doing videos on Maxine and MOB, and basically, like I say, if you've been following all this, like you'll know that, like, when they passed the stimulus, the first one, the CARES Act, it had mentioned or made mention of a digital dollar. So eventually these digital dollars going to be introduced. When, can't say, but definitely it's going to be introduced. You know what I mean? Because basically they crashing the dollar now. You can't just keep on continuing to print money out of thin air. So this is letting you know the times we're living in, and how this Maxine is the forerunner to that MOB. So I'm gonna bring out a little bit of the article, and I got a couple more scriptures. Lord willingly, is edifying. It says, published Monday, March 8th, 2021, by Arjun Paul. Meitu, a Chinese company that makes a photo editing app, bought 22.1 million worth of Ether and 17.9 million worth of Bitcoin on March 5th. Now, remember how Martha Stewart got caught up in the inside trader shit, because she, being in her position she is in society, she was around certain people that had knowledge. So she found out about money that she had invested in certain stocks, that stocks of that company was going to plummet. So she went ahead, like anybody would, and took her money out. Now, these people deem that illegal, which is funny because they do it all day. You could constantly tell. They was talking about during this pandemic the stock market was up. Now, how the fuck is that possible? Like, why would you even? Yeah. But anyhow, you should if a person that's circumspect will be wondering like, well, you'll be questioning certain things. You know what I mean? How is it possible for the stock market to be up when you know they're not jobs. The companies aren't producing. Now I can see certain stocks are up, like gold, because if the dollar's shaky and they print all this money, and if you know about money, yeah, it would make sense to put your assets in different, or put your money in different assets. You know what I mean? Besides just cash. Um, Meitu follows the likes of Tesla and Square. And I ain't even hip to Square and Square in purchasing Bitcoin, but the Chinese app maker appears to be the first major company to buy Ether, a cryptocurrency that works on the Ethereum blockchain. The company said cryptocurrencies provide diversification to holding cash and said it will launch blockchain-based apps. And that's just something to say for you peons, because at the end of the day, these people, these big companies, come on, these ain't no little peon company. Tesla didn't just buy that just to, diversify. It's because they are aware that this is about to go to a cashless system. It says Meitu, a Chinese company that makes a photo editing app, has purchased Bitcoin and Ether, becoming the latest firm to buy cryptocurrencies. I read this part, so I'm gonna skip that. Meitu follows the likes of electric car company Tesla and Square and purchasing Bitcoin, but the Chinese app maker appears to be the first major company to buy Ether, a cryptocurrency that works on the Ethereum blockchain. Bitcoin is based on its own blockchain, the technology that underpins it. Ethereum is a completely different network. It's an open source blockchain that allows developers to build apps on top of it. The cryptocurrency Ether can be used to pay or interact with services built on top of the Ethereum network. These are often called decentralized applications, or DApps. Meitu said in a statement that blockchain technology has the potential to disrupt both existing financial and technology industries, similar to the manner in which mobile internet has disrupted the PC internet and many other offline industries. So basically, they're making it seem as if, even if people still deal with cash, they're saying that people will be dealing with these Bitcoin. Like, you got people dealing with Bitcoins now. You got people like say, and you can see how society and the technology and the applications are all going to this digital currency. Look at Cash App. Look at Cash App. Literally, you can literally just like, I need you to send me some money, and as long as you got the app, the card, you can get money instantly. Well, not instantly, but you know what I mean. Depends on the person or whatnot. Because I know some people it comes quicker than others. But the point being, at one point in time you couldn't do that. So, like I said, yeah, of course they gonna make technologies and applications that's gonna go with this. But the whole point of this lesson is, it's not coincidence that this major company like Tesla both are buying all these Bitcoins. And that's why Bitcoin, and mind you, Bitcoin is like 35, or is it 55? It's up there. It's between 35 and $55,000 for one Bitcoin. So just imagine how many other companies are buying into it, not mentioning or not being mentioned. The board believes cryptocurrencies have ample room for appreciation and value, and by allocating part of its treasury in cryptocurrencies can also serve as a diversification to holding cash, which is subject to depreciation, pressures due to aggressive increases in money supply by central banks globally and treasury management. Meitu said. But the thing is, like the what's that? The Fed and the IMF, they're talking about actually developing, if they haven't already developed. I mean, they were talking about digital currencies. So all this is some bullshit, like I said, and that's what, like I said, we in them times. Uh, it's a little bit more in the article, but the move demonstrates investors that Meitu has the vision, and that's the spirit, because I just brought out that Habakkuk and Romans, has the vision and determination to embrace technological evolution and hence preparing its foray into the blockchain industry. Meitu says shares of Meitu were 3.3 higher at 1:44 p.m. And that's the spirit. 1:44 p.m. and we look at those different signs, just like 33. I don't know if they're trying to be funny or what. It could be coincidence, or it could just be the spirit, you know what I mean? But numbers like 33 and that 144 are very significant. Hong Kong, like I said, all this is leading to this mark. So I'm about to even skip all this. I'm about to get these last few scriptures. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. And you see in the signs past and now, you know what I mean? Wars, rumors of wars. They talk about what's that? Iran talking about attacking that Israel and talk about attacking America. I think they attacked America already. I was gonna do a video on that, but there's so much stuff going on. The weather being all messed up, uproars of the people. It's all these are signs that were foretold from the beginning. And one of the signs will be, the implication of a system where you can only buy or sell with this mark, with this charagma, with this, with this incision, and you seeing how this whole immunity passport is leading into a system where basically, if you gonna take this immunity, because this is what it basically through the spirit, this is how I take it. If you gonna take the elder apostle Torah always mentions this. He said, if you gonna take the vaccine, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna take the chip. That's just point blank period. And I think that's how they're weeding people out. So eventually, and then when you watch some of those futuristic movies, it was always a group of, or society. Well, it was always a separate or a remnant of society that didn't deal with it. Like if you watch Logan's Run, it was people living off the grid, not a part of the society. It's just multiple movies. Like when you watch Demolition Man, it was people living in the sewers. So it's gonna be a remnant that's actually gonna be what you could say like in the wilderness, But then you're gonna also have the hour of temptation where people gonna have to decide what they're gonna do. And you're gonna have those that are gonna be, I ain't gonna say martyred, but gonna actually catch tribulation. That's gonna get caught up in the FEMA camps. That's gonna actually be at home, and they're gonna, because they already talking about putting in a system like how Israel's system is, where literally the information who all took the vaccine is in the health records are at like the local municipality, so they know who's taking them and who's not. So who's to say if your local a police officer or whatever they're called over there may not show up? I mean, because they already got all this legislation in place. You got a video that went viral last year showing in Canada how literally the police basically came to a person's home. Well, it was a couple, and made them forcibly. They didn't. You grab them, snatch them up, but basically that's what the next step was. So yeah, this thing is about to this is about to be a reality, point blank period. It says, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So like I said, we know because we follow these signs and we read these scriptures that like we're waiting on certain things to happen so we can know how long before our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai HaMashiach will be back on it. Because basically certain things have to come to pass, and then we'll know by reading the scriptures when, what time we're living in, basically. But we pretty much at the time of the end, I believe in, I forgot which Peter it is. It's one, I want to say it's First Peter. It say the end is nigh. The end is nigh, it's near, let's see. Bear with me. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And that's the thing. You got a lot of people enjoying and grateful. And, we're grateful because we know at the end of the day, even though Esau's passing this money out, these stimuluses, it's ultimately all of the Lord because we're in grace. I know somebody got so many demons on them, they didn't even apply for the stimulus. When the first time you ever heard even if you didn't work, you can get free money. You know, and I know somebody that didn't work that got free money. And this person is so delusional. They think by turning that money down, they literally they gonna get like brownie points, so the Lord gonna be pleased with that. Like that's how fucking many demons is on people down here. This person got children and everything. So why it's time? I mean, while we still in grace, and brothers that's in the spirit, they understand that. Like we was out of town recently, and a brother was like, he was talking about how he's helping people get the stimulus. I mean, not the unemployment stimulus is though. That's big money, and and at the end of the day, yeah, shit. Before they crash and shit, you better get it. I mean, if the Lord bless you to get some money before this shit over with, you better. If you in a camp, then that way you can help yourself, you can help your family, and you can help the brotherhood. But I mean, like I said, you got people that's so just in love with the fact they love it. Esau, oh yeah, they're giving us free money. They love Biden because he unlike Trump, where Trump it was difficult to pass the stimuluses on certain ones. With Biden it's just automatically passed. They thinking that shit a good thing. You cannot pass that amount of money or print that much. It's just now being a year, and they already talking about printing out another $2 trillion. That's all that's gonna do is cause hyperinflation. So eventually you're gonna need $30 to get a motherfucking loaf of bread. You're gonna need $150 to fill up your tank. You know what I mean? Yeah, people gonna go ape shit. This is the last scripture. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13. I'm gonna just go straight to the point. And he caused of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. This is very cut and dry. It says that he caused of all, both small, so if you in low position here, or great, so if you on top of echelons of society, you're a movie star, you're an entertainer, you're a rapper, you rich. If you poor, if you free, or if you're in bond, meaning like locked up, incarcerated in prison. That's the spirit. I was just reading. They was talking about the tier here in Ohio. It was saying that basically they're going through the phase of basically inoculating all the correction officers. So if they're inoculating the correction officers, they're inoculating the prisoners. And if they're inoculating the teachers, they're inoculating the students. They was just talking about how they trying to do something to have the teachers going back to school like by the end of this week. So let's see how that goes. It says to receive a mark in their right hand, which, when you go into the information about the guy that created that chip, or what are the people that helped create it, he explains why in the hand and all that. And then you got Elon Musk saying by the end of this year, they should actually be able to surgically implant the neural link in a human being. And that no man might buy or sell, meaning you can't, what's the word, visit the agora. You can't commerce. You can't do any kind of commerce without this actual, because it's a thing. It's not, like sleeping with white women or embargo or a philosophy. It tells you in the scriptures when you break it down, charagma. Karax, it's a physical thing. Save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that's point blank, period. And that's clear, cut, and dry. So with that, I'm going to end the lesson. Lord willingly was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to. Well, before I end this, if you are so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. We're not only set up to, teach the Bible and prophesy the downfall of this place and to tell the other nations their judgment, but the main thing is to try to get Israel to come back, because the whole thing is we're trying to seal the elect. We're trying to, and we'll know that they're sealed when they come persecuting the prophets. That's when and that's about to come. I remember listening to the elder talking about, he had heard something about how they wasn't really dealing with Israelites. They was more so going after these Edomite extremists. But then that's just how the spirit worked. Then you come to find out, like they said, they wanted to, BHI, which we don't label ourselves black at all. It's funny. I've met Israelites that actually look like Edomites. So how do you explain that, vocab Malone? How are we just? And then he said that silly ass shit about how we feel like we won the lottery. Yeah, especially me as a so-called black man in America. I've been told all my life I ain't shit. You know what I mean? Although they like to watch us play sports or manipulate us in some kind of way. But then when we come to saying just through the spirit, we're better than you. Oh, it's an issue. Like I said, it's funny. I forgot who brought this out. They said at the end of the day, they didn't care when you was Egyptian. You could be a Moor. You know what I mean? All this different, like, you could be Kemet. You know what I mean? You could be anything. They want you to really be a nigga. But when you got to identifying with an Israelite, I'm talking about with no power for real. Just spiritual power. Because knowing you Israelite is spiritual power. Oh my God, they went ape shit. So if you're a so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, or be destroyed. Because destruction is coming to this place. Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America. And with that, I'm going to end the lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Kol HaLoyim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachagodas, to honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and sincerity and risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is an edifying lesson. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willing, I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom, and Mawath Lababal. Shalom.